Kate Andrews, and here's a look at what is going on this week in the news. When we begin in news from around the country, the U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments in its first abortion case in 9 years, March 2nd. Texas abortion clinics are challenging a 2013 state law that requires them to comply with standards of ambulatory surgical centers. The doctors also have to have admitting privileges at local hospitals. Opponents of the law say it's aimed at closing abortion clinics and creating an undue burden on women who want an abortion. The state maintains it is protecting women's health. If the justices vote 4-4 in a decision, they will uphold the Texas law. In news from Rome, Australian Cardinal George Pell met with sex abuse survivors from his hometown of Ballarat on March 3rd. The meeting follows 4 days of testimony that the Cardinal gave to Australia's Royal Commission. He testified on what he knew about the abuse during his tenure in Australia. He promised the survivors that he would help prevent suicide among victims. Catholic News Service has more.
One suicide is too many. Too many. And there have been many such tragic suicides. I commit myself to working with the group to try to stop this so that suicide is not seen as an option for those who are suffering. I too, despite the separation of distance, want to help make Ballarat a model and a better place of healing, for healing and for peace. Now, I shouldn't promise what might be impossible. We all know how hard it is to get things done. But I do want it known that I support the work to investigate the feasibility of a research centre to enhance healing and to improve protection. The church-going people of the Ballarat Diocese are known for their loyalty and for their charity, and I urge them to continue to cooperate with the survivors to improve the situation. I owe a lot to the people and community of Ballarat. I acknowledge that with deep gratitude. It would be marvellous if our city became well known as an effective centre and example of practical help for all those wounded by the scourge of sexual abuse. Thank you.
The Cardinal admitted during the hearings that church leadership has made enormous mistakes in confronting abuse against minors. Hundreds of claims have been made in the Archdiocese of Melbourne and the Diocese of Ballarat. In news from the Vatican, Pope Francis held his weekly general audience on Wednesday. Rome Reports has more.
This week, the Pope stopped the Pope-mobile so that these two children could accompany him to greet the pilgrims during his tour of the plaza. Then, in his catechesis, he reflected on how the Bible shows that God corrects with mercy and never gets tired of forgiving, no matter how serious the sin.
Dios habla amorosamente a la conciencia de sus hijos, para que se arrepientan y se dejen amar de nuevo por Él. La salvación siempre es un don gratuito de Dios, pero supone la decisión de escucharlo y dejarse corregir por Él.
The Pope is reflecting on mercy this week. This week he has pointed out that God is not limited to forgive. He also corrects people to make them better.
Dios se comporta con nosotros como un padre de familia que ama a sus hijos, los socorre, los cuida y los perdona, y que también los educa y corrige cuando se equivocan para ayudarlos a ser responsables, a crecer en el bien y en la libertad.
The Pope digressed from his speech for a moment in order to ask Catholics to not accept alms from those who've earned money dishonestly.
È frutto del sangue di tanta gente sfruttata, maltrattata, schiavizzata, col lavoro mal pagato. Io dirò a questa gente: per favore, portate indietro il tuo assegno, brucialo. Il popolo di Dio, cioè la Chiesa, non ha bisogno di soldi sporchi, ha bisogno di cuori aperti alla misericordia di Dio.
And finally in the news, there's a new app that is about to make the Pope's prayers go global. The Apostleship of Prayer has created the mobile app Click to Pray to connect people around the world to pray for the Pope's monthly intentions. The app was created as part of the relaunch of the Apostleship of Prayer, which has given Catholics the Pope's monthly prayer intentions since 1890. The app allows the user to choose 3 times throughout the day to receive prayers. Users can also write their own prayer intention. The Click to Pray app is available for iPhone, Android, and Windows, and prayers can also be found at clicktopray.org. Well, that's going to do it for news. I'm Kate Andrews. You can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.